Hey, how's it going, GB fans? It's Karawe. Thanks for tuning in. You see the subject of the video, you see what I'm wearing, you know what's in front of me, so you know it's Dame time. Before we get into the new Adidas Dame 8, the shoe that just dropped to our store, the awesome shoe that I had, the opportunity to test out in store, we're gonna start with a little story. I don't know if you remember the Adidas Dame 5s. When they came out, one of the colorways was called the People's Champ, and it was basically like made for the boxing ring. And for those of you who don't closely follow the career of Damian Lillard, you won't know that he spends his off-season working hard, and a lot of that hard work includes boxing. Obviously, he doesn't do any, heavy, intense fighting, but still, for anyone who's ever tried boxing, you know how good that is for your stamina, for your endurance. And this is exactly what Damian Lillard had to say. And he even added that boxing helped him with his arm strength, which allowed him to come up with all the crazy shots from, pretty much any position on the basketball court and the ability to make them. So the story with Damian and boxing goes way, way back from an older interview that I saw on, I believe it was on ESPN. He got into boxing when he was about 6 years old. And basically his family had this tradition to, get together with friends, family, neighbors, and they watch all the big fights on pay-per-view. And this is where it kind of started for Damian. And then later on, when he became a basketball professional, he decided to include boxing training or practice sessions into his off-season workouts. And so all of this boxing introduction is actually, it has a lot to do with these performance basketball shoes right here. And you can tell this right away just by looking at the box. Front and center, you have boxing gloves. It says Dame 8. The whole story of the shoe is Dame versus Dame, because only Damian Lillard can defeat Damian Lillard. More boxing gloves here. It says Battle of the Bubble, which, again, a battle, kind of like a boxing match, and a reminder of the great stretch that Damian Lillard had playing in the NBA bubble. And then here on the back, it says GOAT Spirit. Then we have the Dame Dollar logo. And then here, what's really interesting, we have all the various dates when Damian Lillard scored game-winning buzzer beater shots. So, right away with the box, we have so many great details and storytelling going on, all revolving around boxing. So I like that a lot. And now we're gonna be going to the shoe. Again, it has boxing details, but we'll cover those at the end. First, if you remember the Adidas Dame 7 was a great shoe. It was one of our better selling shoes, and it was a great performer. And luckily, there are plenty of similarities between the 7s and the 8s, but then also some differences. And the first major difference is the Bounce Pro cushioning right here. So it's like a dual layer foam for stability, for energy return, and it works great. I like it a lot. We also have a change here on the outsole, where we have this wavy herringbone pattern, because if you remember on the 7s, there was like little lightning bolts, which work great, by the way, but this one I think will be even better over the long run. This outside part of the outsole has these lightning bolts, and that's a similarity to the 7s. So I think the lightning bolts are kind of a symbol for speed, because we all know how fast and quick Damian Lillard is. And also this zigzag pattern here is kind of a speed thing. It's also here on the inside. The upper is very similar to the 7s. It's a textile mesh, very breathable, light, comfortable. And one thing that I really enjoyed with the shoe is the padding around the ankle in here, and the additional padding pillow for your Achilles. And this was so great. When I put the shoe on, it really locked your heel, but not in a way where it would feel like it's too much of a lockdown. It was just the ideal lockdown for, you know, the stability and to provide you with the ability to make cuts, to be fast. So definitely a huge plus for the shoe. And as I said at the beginning or earlier, I mentioned the various boxing details with the shoe. We can see here on this pull tab, it is like a boxing glove with a Damian Lillard D logo at the bottom. So that's kind of a cool thing. Here it says fourth quarter knockout. So, you know, it's a combination of fourth quarter in basketball and knockout in boxing. And then here it's kind of cool. It says bob and weave and also stick and move. And if you ever practice boxing, this is something that coaches always tell to their fighters, you know, this is what you have to do. You have to, you know, make a move or throw a punch and then move and dodge. So I really like this a lot. Cool details with the shoe. And as I mentioned, the pull tab, I think it's a great design thing because first of all, the pull tab here on the tongue is off-centered because, you know, they normally run straight down the middle. Here it's kind of off to the side, and then this one here is just kind of, you know, also off to the side because normally they'll be right above the center of the heel. So nice little design style touches. And overall, as always, I'm really happy with the shoe, and I'm looking forward to the various colorways that are going to be coming out with all the different nice stories that they'll have, as always. And finally, one thing that is really exciting about the shoe is the fact that 25% of the upper material use at least some recycled materials. So this is great for sustainability. And as a matter of fact, we at Grosbasket have a great story coming up related to sustainability. So make sure to stay tuned for more info about that. And that pretty much wraps it up for today. Thanks for tuning in.